All right, we did it. With that, the November 19th Middleton Tourism Commission is called to order. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Open for discussion, questions, concerns, a motion.
I move to approve the meeting minutes.
A second.
Carlos will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Hotel updates. Todd, how'd you do for Oregon?
It wasn't the best of weekends. Two of my three hotels filled on Saturday. One filled on Friday. Just wasn't a lot of heavy demand for the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the same with my property. We filled Friday, but of course we had the team, so that helped. And then Saturday we ended up going down, I think, with 40 rooms left to sell or so. So, I mean, that's pretty significant in a sense, 12, 13% of our rooms still vacant on a big game like that, especially a night game.
Well, and that was one of my concerns. I mean, obviously Oregon's a great team, but how do you get people to travel from the West Coast?
Yeah.
And Wisconsin, it turned out to be a great game, right? But I don't think a lot of Wisconsin people necessarily thought it was going to be a great game. So
yeah,
they didn't make the trip to the game.
Yeah.
That's my take on it anyway.
You're exactly right. Yep, for sure. Other than that, I mean, we're just plugging along. We've got a pretty decent December ahead of us. As far as group goes, transient's always well down in December, but no, we're looking to close the year pretty strong.
We've had a reasonable November, not the greatest of Novembers. December is largely a transient month for us, and we're just really hoping that Jim overfills and on his
There we
group.
go. I sent a few people John's way this last week or so. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Director updates?
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to try to cruise through some of these things quickly, so stop me if you have questions. I included here, I'll go back to my. So I included the Tourism Commission financial report. And if you guys have any questions about any of these, let me know. Now, I did have to create this last Tuesday, and a few more bills have been paid since then. It's still technically not a full Q3 view, just so you know. It takes sometimes up to almost 20 to 30 days for some of my invoices to get paid. So it might still be a couple more weeks before I actually have like the actual Q3 expense report. But this gives a pretty good indication of where we're sitting. And I did put a few things on here. For instance, I mean, I know that we have another $5,000 grant going out within the next week because we got that report, or in 2 weeks. There's an NTA trade show that Laura is at right now. None of her expenses are in for that except for the registration. And we have one more partnership grant to pay out. And obviously the end of year expenses that still haven't gone through. But so far, if we look at, this is our current revenue over what we had anticipated for an overall budget, but what our actual revenue is over our actual expenses, we're still sitting very well. And the 2024 budget was approved with the estimated revenue being $47,742 short. So we were expecting to go into our tourism fund balance if we spent absolutely everything. And that included the $50,000 grant that we give to CXC, which technically is supposed to come out of that fund balance anyway. Right now we're on track for ending the year in the black. We saved, I mean, for 6 months, we didn't have a position filled. We haven't spent about half of our grant money. And honestly, it looks like we're going to have leftover money in quite a few of the other budget counts, because we also didn't do the research. So we're doing pretty well. Just to give you guys an kind of an idea of how our third quarter went. The third quarter revenue, and this is just for third quarter in 2024, the tourism fund brought in $499,617. That is a little bit of a jump from last year at this time. And we have occupancy to thank for that, since ADR is still kind of struggling a little bit. But last year at this time, Q3, it was 489,167. So we are, like, even though it didn't feel like a really great Q3 from your perspective, we are financially doing okay. You guys obviously had to fight for that, and we thank you. The overall revenue tourism fund balance currently stands at $1,213,043. The general fund, the city received $519,875 so far. And out of our revenue share, we have paid Destination Madison $206,217. Last year at this time, we were almost $200,000 less. So we are still tracking higher than last year at this time, even though it feels like a bigger push and a bigger pull for all the sales teams. The STAR report came in. It's so exciting when I actually get that with more than like 2 hours heads up before the meeting. The October 2024 STAR report occupancy, and this is obviously citywide, we were at 72.7%, which is actually down 3.7% from last year. Our year-to-date occupancy is 64.4%, which is 8.7% up from last year. Our ADR for October was 3.2% down from October of last year, and our year-to-date ADR is down 3.5%. So when you guys have been talking about ADR, I mean, we've definitely have the data to prove that. RevPAR is down 6.8%, but year-to-date it's actually up 4.9%. And the revenue is down 6.8% compared to October 2023, but year-to-date we're up 4.9%. And that's explained through the fact that we had a slightly better Q1 than we anticipated and a better Q2 than we anticipated.
Yeah.
And looking ahead next year at Q2, it looks like, unless I'm incorrect, that Epic's event again doesn't overlap with graduation. So there's a possibility for us to be able to profit from that.
Yeah.
Because that worked out very, very well. And then the next update to give you guys, the Destination Madison 2025 contract has been signed and accepted by all parties. And we will be I will be reaching out to DM. I've already spoken to their CEO, and we're going to start conversations in January, probably right after they give their annual report. Because according to the stipulations that we included with the contract, we have to have a ready-made contract for hopefully a 2 or 3 year contract ready in May, so that you all have a chance in May to review it, to say these are the changes we want to make, and then to review and accept it or decline it in June. Because we all have to get our budget set for July. And if you decline it in June, that is not going to set us back. We have other options, which we will discuss later. So that's all I have from my report. And then I did want to give a slight grant update. We received 2 grants like last Friday. And one is for a sailboating competition, competition that's coming in. It was 2,000 or less, so I already approved it. We have a nice room block here already set. And I think they're actually at 2 of your hotels, Todd. And that way we could just get that one going. The second one was for a hockey championship, maybe. But we will have to vote on that. It's a larger grant. And he said it was okay to wait until January, because I told him we don't do business in December. And so that will be one of the items for next January. When we meet, Destination Madison will be here. It'd be great if people could be in person. Last year, like 5 DM people came and it was us and I think Jim in person, and that was it. Destination Madison will give their annual report, and you are also completely welcome to ask questions at that time. I'll present the hockey grant application and then a little piece of homework for December. The city sustainability committee has, I shouldn't say finally, they've been working on this for a very long time, but they've put together a sustainable purchasing policy that has to be adhered by every department. And since we're a department, we fall under that as well. It's a very long document. I'll send it to all of you. The mayor wanted she called out specifically certain committees and departments that she wanted our feedback before pushing this through as like a final document. And I've been in a couple of the meetings for this. The people who have been volunteering for this committee have put in an insane amount of work and research, just so you know. And they really, really were listening to us. Like at the last Common Council meeting, the presenter was actually, telling the council some of the things that we were saying were going to be difficult. You can give us a sustainability purchasing policy, but you have to give us the money to do it, right? And also, what are the parameters? If there are 2 items by 2 different sellers and one is more along the lines of sustainability, but it's significantly more expensive, what is the line drawn in the sand for when the city is like, no, 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 we have to go with something that's more affordable, or no, we have to choose this option. And so the city is being asked, the Common Council is being asked to create those parameters for us. Obviously in tourism, we're kind of stuck in a position where we order a lot of tchotchkes for our events. And the thing is, we order them locally, but they're being sourced from China, right?
Mhm.
Like they're being branded here. So we get to check the box of local purchase, but they aren't necessarily like an environmentally friendly thing. Laura has been researching for years different things, and we have a few items that are. And how we approach it is, if we can't find something that is biodegradable, recyclable, or made from recycled materials, then is it at least something that you're going to keep for a really long time? You're actually going to use this. And so those come like, the Post-its and the markers, and we have a very popular pizza cutter. They aren't made from a recyclable material, but they're something that people are going to actually keep in their house, as opposed to things like, I've been asked, can't you make some stress balls? People throw those away. I've been to so many conferences where the trash cans are just full of some of those things. They're super cute and you can have them branded for your conference, but people toss them. So we are very intentional, at least choosing things that people aren't just going to throw in the bin before they fly home. And they did listen to that. They were thinking about that. But I'll send that out. You guys can read it. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're like, this part doesn't apply to us, what happens if they enforce it? How does enforcement work? I can answer some of those questions, but then the rest of them I'll actually type up and submit to the committee. They wanted us to respond to them before the end of the year. So I'll send you an email with a deadline for when I'd like to hear your feedback, just so that I have time to put things together for them. Since we aren't meeting in December, we're having our party. And I haven't ordered the food yet. So if anybody is like, I am really, really hoping for this, we always have a Middleton restaurant cater. So it has to be a Middleton restaurant. But I'm open to suggestions if people are feeling like something specific, or if there's a restaurant you haven't tried yet. We've done Biaggi's, we've done Villa Dolce. I don't remember where else we've done. I think we did Sofra 1 year early, and we've done the meat and cheese trays. That was my first year.
Yeah.
We've gone away from the meat and cheese trays. You guys get enough of those in your office. So give me a call about that as well. But that's all I have.
Meeting,
I know. I was trying.
quick meeting.
I know all of you guys are crazy busy this time of year,
It's pretty wild.
but I will open it up if you have any questions about any of the things that I just discussed. Like, I'm here.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
entertain a motion.
A motion to end the meeting?
And make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Kevin second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I
See you at the holiday party.
Yeah, and we'll send email reminders. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
all right, thank you.
Oh. Yeah.